So now we've seen what she looks like, let's see how she drives. So the first thing you notice is that the car drives really well. It's more quiet in here than it is in my Tesla Model S. You're sitting higher, of course, because of the SUV design. It's not something that I like very much, but that's a personal taste. I'd rather sit low in a car than being so high. But yeah, it's not too bad. Another thing that immediately springs to mind or immediately is noticeable is the difference in regenerative braking. So the car brakes harder in regen. You can set it to low as well though, but now it's on high. It brakes harder and it takes some getting used to, and you get like this motion sickness from using regen braking. It's not too bad though, and as I said, it just takes some getting used to. So let's take the car onto the highway now, and let's see how it reacts there. It doesn't pull too bad, but it doesn't have the same punch as the P100D does. But yeah, it's not bad at all. It's really quiet in here. You hear some road noise, but hardly any wind noise. And with the Tesla, you do get a fair bit of wind noise as well. Here is just road noise. Yeah, but that's what you have in an electric car, so you don't really hear a lot except for the road noise. So you do have a cruise control on this car, and you have this little button for the lane assist, so when you go outside of the lane, it starts vibrating, and the cruise control is adaptive and keeps the speed or a set distance from the guy in front of you. That's good, but I was expecting to have more technology in terms of autopilot, of automatic lane keeping. Maybe that's something that I need to look up in the manual and figure that out. Now, something that is noticeable immediately is the way it drives. It's really comfortable, and I am currently in the dynamic function, so it's not like it's a harsh ride at the moment. You do feel it a little bit more than when you go for comfort mode. It's not that noticeable, the difference in essence. Yeah, the car has the battery at the bottom also, so that gives you a low balance and a low center of gravity, and that helps of course with the stability of the car, so no issues there. So while we're turning around and going back to the highway, I'm doing some mild city driving here, and again it's the regen braking that annoys me the most at this point, but that's, as I said, getting something to get used to, and it's more one pedal driving, so it's a lot more regen that you get, a lot more braking that you get than what you get from a Tesla, for example. So maybe they should have like a third setting in between, like you have the low, the high, and medium or something in between to make sure that everybody can tailor it to their needs. But yeah, on these roads, it's not heavy traffic, but it's kind of stop-go with the traffic lights now. It's doing well. I have no issues with the car. The seats are very comfortable, I should say. and yeah, the touchscreen is just within range. And let's see, can we activate the cameras while we're driving? Yes, we can. And it even gives us the yellow lines like we have in parking mode. Oh, but above a set speed, yeah, I think above 40 kilometers an hour it doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, it's a good car, this one. The only problem is, of course, the charging that we have. If you do AC charging, that is limited to 7 kilowatts. So to charge 90 kilowatts on a regular socket with 7 kilowatts, I mean, that's it's going to take quite some time to get completely charged. But on the other hand, the car is ready at the moment to accept 150 kilowatts of charging, and I was told that the car can be upgraded to accept a full Ionity charge of 350 kilowatts, which would be awesome, because that would mean you'd get a full charge in about half an hour, I guess, something like that, maybe less. So yeah, that would be great, but unfortunately at the moment the Ionity network is not yet rolled out. We're waiting on that to happen, but Ionity is going quick on this one, so hopefully by this time next year we'll have a second kind of supercharger network that will allow these cars and the Audi to drive long distances quickly. So yeah, looking forward to that, because I think competition for Tesla is a good thing. They need to step up their quality, which I will talk about in a minute as well. But on the other hand, there's a lot of room for other EVs to enter that market segment, and they all can coexist friendly as well. Now you do have this little G-force meter here. So let's see if we can try that. I'm not going to stop completely, there's no car behind me. Let's see how far we can get by accelerating. Okay, that's a maximum of 0.7 Gs. And that's with a battery state of 119 kilometers. So yeah, that's about, I think 30% or something on the battery. That's not too bad, not too bad. Of course it's not a Tesla, but we don't expect that from this car, right? What is important for this car is that it's comfortable, it's good quality, it's able to drive long distances. For now, that is still somewhere in the middle. Yes, you can do that in one charge, but then it takes quite a while to charge it up again. You can currently do the CCS charger at 50 kilowatts, and yeah, I mean, that's if you do that for about half an hour, you still get like 100 kilometers of additional range, maybe between 50 and 100. I should check it myself, but yeah, it takes a while to charge it now, so it's the same as if you were to use a Tesla and then use a CHAdeMO charger, which can give you up to 250 kilometers per hour of additional range when charging. Okay, so we are on cruise control now. Let's see how it reacts to these cars. Not braking, not braking, not braking, not braking. Oh, it's not seeing those cars, right? So that's a big problem. So guys, if you're watching this, don't trust your cruise control to brake for cars that are already stationary in front of a red light, because it just runs into them. But yeah, that's the same problem that we have with the Tesla. So there we have some problems with detecting the stationary objects. So I guess that's just very hard to do for a cruise control system. So that was a funny thing. So at first it didn't want to slow down for a stationary car, right? Now it is reacting to the motorcycle in front of me, but just before I started this recording, a car in the next lane was slowing down, and I had just had a free and clear road in front of me, and still it actually it started braking for that car in the next lane. So that is what I'm seeing with Tesla as well. So what we were thinking that it's a flaw of the Tesla system, apparently it's not the only car that has troubles with detecting the slowing down of traffic, whether or not that's in your lane. So that puts the whole Tesla perspective in another daylight. So it's not that bad after all, and maybe I'm just expecting too much of the system at this point. But it's interesting to see what they will do to solve that issue in the end. And of course, this car gets updates as well, and it will get better over time as well, just as the Tesla does. Something I noticed as well in this car is that you can actually hear the motors when doing regen or accelerating. You actually hear them quite well. Let me see if I can get it on video here. You hear that motor whine, you hear it more than what you do in a Tesla. So the motor installation, that could be a little bit better. Same here. If you accelerate, so you hear the motors definitely a lot more than you do in a Tesla. But once you are continuously driving a set speed, it shuts down basically the noise, and then you don't hear it anymore, and it's just a road noise that you hear. So let's see if we can find a parking spot to test the perpendicular parking. So I'm going to initiate the search. Searching. Oh, it says I found one, and it says perpendicular. Okay, let's see what that does. Put it in reverse. Carefully driving backwards. Let's see what it thinks it does. Okay, watching out. Yeah, it's going for the perpendicular, so I'm not going to do that. Let's try another search here. Let's see if it can find it. Oh, it seems like if you canceled it, then it doesn't allow you to do it again. That is weird. So let's try that again. Yeah, nope. Okay. So I noticed this before, and I actually had to turn off the car. Like so. Turn it on again. Put it in drive. Yeah, and then I can start searching again. So once you interrupt the automatic parking, then you're not able to use it again until you stop the car. That's weird. Okay, let's try this location again. So I'm going to turn around, and let's see what the car thinks it can do. Maybe I can do it here as well. Let's see here. So I'm going to start the search. Scanning. Oh, it found one. Oh, scanning again. Found another one. So putting it in reverse. Slowly, I have to feed the power here. The steering wheel is doing this all by itself. It's turning back here. Yeah, it's doing a kind of a great job. Okay. So as you can see on the screen here, we're quite a bit off the mark here. Maybe it has to do with the curb that is going slanted, but yeah, it could use some more work. the auto park, but yeah, it's not too bad. It does the steering, and that's the most important part, because a lot of people can't really judge when to turn and steer again. So yeah. Okay, so now I've driven the I-Pace, and I've climbed back into my Model S and drove it a little bit, so we can get to a proper conclusion comparing one to the other. First thing I notice is that the build quality of the I-Pace is a lot better than that of a Tesla. The quality of the leather is a lot better. The stitching is bang on everywhere, and the panel gaps are also a lot smaller than on a Model S or a Model X. Supposedly a Model 3 should have smaller panel gaps, but I haven't been able to see that in detail yet. Another thing that I also noticed is that from getting from the I-Pace into the Model S again, even though the I-Pace is a little bit lighter, it does carry its weight worse. I mean, it goes quickly, there's no issue there, but on the other hand, getting into my Model S and driving off, I got the feeling that it floated, and it was a lot more responsive. So even though the I-Pace is a quick car, it's definitely not a Tesla, and it carries its weight worse than a Tesla does. But of course, that's comparing an SUV to the Model S, which is a sedan. Not sure if that's apples to apples. But yeah, besides that, the Jaguar is a really good car. The infotainment could use a little more improving. It's not that responsive. The layout that is split over the two screens, so the top and the bottom screen, that is not something that I like very much, because especially the bottom screen takes your attention away too much from the road when you try to enter something there. It's kind of dangerous. The main functions are on the top screen, so that's fine, but it's the seat heater that you want to use, and it's all touch buttons, so it's not real actual buttons, but touch screen, and that makes it a little bit trickier to find them. Maybe once you get used to that, you can find them without looking down at the screen. But from my limited experience with the I-Pace, I think it's dangerous to have an interactive screen that low in the car. What do I think of the car in general? Well, it is a smaller car than a Tesla, but it has its advantages because a Tesla is really wide. So for somebody like my wife, this might be a better solution than driving around in a Model X. The question is, would I buy one? Well, given that the start price is 79,000 euros and the one that I drove is around 100,000 euros, it's a bloody expensive car, right? So it's not something that I would be able to afford privately. I mean, my Tesla is also a company car, and that's the only reason why I can afford it. But I think the I-Pace is a lot better looking than the Model X. Right? And I realize that's a totally personal opinion here, and other people may disagree with me, but both me and my wife don't like the Model X at all in terms of design. Yeah, it's funky with the falcon wing doors and such, and it always is a crowd pleaser, so to speak. But from a functional perspective, we like the I-Pace better. It's just too expensive to buy privately. But suppose that money is no objection, would I buy one? I think I might, but as a second car. I'd still be keeping my Tesla to do long distance road trips and such, because that's still not possible. Well, it is possible theoretically with the I-Pace, but it's going to take you a long time. So until the Ionity network is rolled out far enough, and the Jaguar is updated on component level, so battery and charger and cables and whatever that needs to be updated to accept the full 350 kilowatts of charge, I'll be keeping my Tesla for sure. So yeah, there you have it. Jaguar I-Pace, a really nice car. It needs some improving on charging levels. It needs a couple of improvements on technological level. I hope to be testing the autopilot-like features with a car that actually has it. Fortunately, this one did not have that option. But I'll report on that as well once I get the chance to do that. I don't see this as a Tesla killer, right? So there's enough room for all these brands to coexist. Tesla is about technology, Jaguar is about heritage, and the quality where Tesla could still learn a lot from. So yeah, and as long as they coexist, they will be kind of competition, and they will bring both companies up to the next level in the electric vehicle section. So yeah, good car, and I'm happy to be given the chance to review it, and hope you liked the review as well. And as always, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe them using this little button here, and click on the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. And for now, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.